She suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human.
I mean, when I listen to Meghan, I am just reminded that there's nothing authentic there.
You're never going to convince anyone that you're authentic.
I'm working so hard. Is she really?
Why does she struggle so much with humanity?
I feel like it's pretty safe to say that Meghan Markle is like a pathological liar.
She can't even act like herself.
And she is exhausting. You are not a successful female entrepreneur. I can list more fails on both of my hands.
She has done the world premiere episode of actually being on someone else's podcast.
In what was billed as her most authentic moment yet, Meghan Markle appeared barefaced and tearful on the Kern Lima show. But was it truly raw vulnerability or a masterclass in brand management? While some praise her openness, a wave of backlash suggests the Duchess's realness may be the most polished act yet.
I'm so grateful you're here.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Hi, crew.
You made me cry. Good thing I have no makeup on.
You look so pretty.
I have not done a show with no makeup since my 1,000 QVC shows.
Do you think I have?
I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us one strip of authenticity.
I just feel like at this point, she's gotten a lot of opportunities to tell us something interesting. You're dying to tell us stuff, but none of it has any substance to it.
It was a carefully promoted appearance. No makeup, no filter, no script. Just a Duchess sitting down for what was marketed as her most soul-bearing interview to date. Host Jamie Kern Lima called it raw and soulful, praising Meghan's openness as the two discussed motherhood, purpose, and late-night emails to her children. But viewers weren't all convinced. In fact, the backlash was instant.
Thank you for trusting me with your first ever podcast and with your friendship.
It means a lot, Jamie. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a very accepting person. Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
You know, she also had to tell us at the Time 100 thing that she's the happiest she's ever been. How many people do you know have to convince you that they're the happiest that they've ever been in their life? This is all just Meghan Markle's stage. We're expected to buy it.
She wants us to believe that she went from being a D-list actress from a show that nobody that I know watched, Suits, okay, to becoming Martha Stewart in 3 years. This is totally authentic.
At one point, Meghan read a letter she said she writes to her kids every night. Her voice cracked. She laughed through the tears, saying, "This is why it's nice not to wear makeup." But the internet wasn't buying it. Users on X accused her of scripting the moment, calling it performance for sympathy. Some pointed to her history of overly polished media appearances, like her Archetypes podcast, as evidence this was just another rehearsed routine, expertly crafted for maximum impact.
So beautiful.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one.
Sure you were.
Yeah, it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you.
The one thing she is dying to sell to us is relatability. The one thing she is dying for more than anything is for us to love her. And she can't get it across the finish line.
Royal commentators went further. Alexander Larman called the podcast display pathetic and desperate, a bid to stay relevant in the spotlight she once tried to escape. The Daily Mail and other UK outlets echoed the sentiment, suggesting Meghan's emotional display was straight out of a well-rehearsed PR playbook. The timing, the tears, even the barefaced glow, it all felt too perfect to be real.
You know, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Your husband just shared publicly, I'm so happy for my wife and fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do.
When did he say that?
This week. It's everywhere in the press. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's sweet.
Harry, again, find your balls. Wherever they are, find them.
Meghan also opened up about her busy schedule, managing brand launches, newsletters, editing her Netflix show, and balancing motherhood. "I love being that busy," she said. But critics weren't impressed. Tax records reportedly show Prince Harry worked 1 hour a week, a detail that sparked fresh backlash. Meghan, Kelly, and Dave Portnoy blasted the interview as tone-deaf, arguing that Meghan's royal privilege makes her struggles unrelatable.
But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. You got a princess title.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard and I like working hard and I'm still working hard. The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done.
Yeah.
It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line.
Being one of the most privileged people on the planet, she still won't talk about how hardworking she is, which includes coming up with Instagram captions.
And being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Oh, yeah,
Those
that's
are
right.
all jobs. I mean, I love being that busy, but I do think it's really interesting when people have no sense of what goes into the thing.
Yeah.
It's too much for me. There's only small doses of that podcast I can consume.
The finish line was really the starting line.
That would infuriate me, like, as someone who's trying to start a business, struggling, because like you're
Hard
in
to
the
get.
royal family.
Yes.
So to complain about, oh, the business, you don't have to, if you don't want to show up, if you don't want to do the schedule, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Right.
You're living in literally like a fantasy tale.
Talking about how hard it is to be a working mom, that most of the working mothers in America do not have help.
Exactly right, exactly right.
And then there's the host herself. Jamie Kern Lima's effusive praise and emotional mirroring struck many viewers as forced. YouTube commentators like the Royal Rogue criticized Lima's delivery as overly rehearsed and cheerleader-like, with her high-pitched affirmations and constant validation. Some said Lima sounded less like an interviewer and more like a scripted sidekick. It's like they were both reading from the same PR manual. One viewer wrote,
The host.
What's happening with her?
If people didn't know who was who,
The
and
weird,
the expression, yeah, it was between two ferns.
Yeah. Jamie Lynn talks like this, and what I love are grown women who talk like this, like they just injected some helium and everything's okay, there's that.
Today is an episode of the Jamie Kern Lima show unlike any episode we have ever done.
And the interviewer, are you more in love now than ever? Like, I'm sure that Meghan, like, wrote all these questions. And then he's a fox. Like, girl, again, I think you took a time machine back to, like, 2006.
We're hearing Meghan tell her friend Jamie, or Jamie talk about Meghan, and telling us that Meghan, by wearing a brand of jeans, has gotten women out of human trafficking. Okay.
This isn't Meghan's first attempt at authentic media. In 2022, she launched her Archetypes podcast under a $20 million Spotify deal. It promised bold, stereotype-breaking conversations with A-listers like Serena Williams and Mariah Carey. But critics tore it apart. Olivia Petter, The Independent, called it the most self-congratulatory 57 minutes of audio all year. Ex-users dismissed it as woke nonsense, and Meghan talking about Meghan. Even fans admitted it felt staged. Spotify canceled the deal in 2023.
It flopped. It flopped really hard despite Spotify trying to push it, and they realized that these two don't really want to work, okay? Spotify, I think, ended up canceling the rest of their deal. There was no use. There was no money in it.
What happened to Spotify? The critics were horrible about With Love Meghan. You sold inventory that you didn't have on asever.com. People are still waiting for their refunds.
Things didn't get better with her Netflix series. Celebrity chef Jameson Sates, who's worked for King Charles, called the show terrible and painful to watch. He even claims he declined a consulting role, sensing the project would be forced and fake. Viewers agreed. Rotten Tomatoes gave an 11% audience score. IMDb, just 2.4 out of 10. Critics called it a Montecito ego trip and a bizarre voyage into the center of nothing. One viewer summed it up, not even a fun hate watch. Just bad.
Essentially, the series is about her inviting her friends and famous guests to a beautiful California estate, which is where she cooks and she gardens and she hosts trips. I guess now she's going to be Martha Stewart.
Let's make a show.
Let's go.
The music in the background. Do you believe in magic? Think I understand why it is she was a D-list actress, because she can't even act like herself. Who does this appeal to? Oh, her neighbors are about people who could probably afford the ingredients and could have a backyard filled with honeybees. This could appeal to Oprah Winfrey and basically no one else, least of all in the economy that we're all just coming out of.
This is a joke, and I'm tired of some of these media outlets continuing to elevate this person when the reality is she's a grifter. Fake it till you make it. We don't accept that anymore. We want authenticity.
So what's the truth here? Is Meghan Markle a misunderstood visionary trying to redefine fame and authenticity in the digital age? Or is she a master of calculated vulnerability, crafting every teardrop, every barefaced moment as part of a relentless brand machine? One thing's for sure, when Meghan speaks, people listen and argue. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is this the real Meghan, or just another chapter of the Meghan?